Wikipedia has an entire page dedicated to sports-related curses. The page has lots of curses that are related to sports such as American football, and motorsports. But in the other sports section, there is a paragraph about a so-called Van Gerwen curse. In this video, we will look at the MVG curse, which lasted for the entire 2020 season. Before this video begins, please make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications, as currently just 1% of my watch time comes from subscribers. The first instance of the curse occurred at the start of the 2020 season during the Masters, which Van Gerwen had won in the previous 5 years. MVG, who was the top seed going into the event, was drawn against the lowest-ranked player in the tournament, Johnny Clayton. At this time, Clayton had yet to win a televised title. As a result, Van Gerwen was the 11-10 favorite to win the title ahead of the match, whilst Clayton was priced at 100-1. However, Clayton broke Van Gerwen's throw in the first leg of the match, and took out 116 to break the throw again and go 3-0 up. Clayton went into the first break with a 4-1 lead. Van Gerwen tied the scores at 5-all, but Clayton then won 5 out of the next 6 legs to secure a 10-6 win, and put himself into the quarter-final, where he would face Nathan Aspinall, who was ranked 7 places lower than Van Gerwen. Clayton made a good start against Aspinall, going 3-1 up. However, he lost the next 4 legs, and Aspinall went on to lead 9-5. Clayton clawed it back to 9-8, but Aspinall won 10-8 to stop Clayton's progress in the event, after he had beaten the Dutchman, who had previously gone 20 matches unbeaten at the Marshall Arena. Did Clayton get ahead of himself after beating Van Gerwen? At the next televised tournament, Van Gerwen won his 3rd UK Open title, beating Gerwyn Price 11-9 in the final. In his semi-final, he hit his 7th career televised 9-darter. Following a lengthy period without any competitive darts due to the coronavirus lockdown, the next PDC major was the World Matchplay, which was held behind closed doors for the first time at the Marshall Arena. Van Gerwen was the 13-8 favorite to win the title ahead of the tournament, and he looked to be on course to win his 3rd match play after averaging close to 100 in his first round 10-7 win over Brendan Dolan. MVG faced Simon Whitlock in the 2nd round, who had averaged just 89 in his round 1st tie. Ahead of the game, Van Gerwen had a 15-match winning streak against Whitlock, and was the 1-14 favorite to get through to the quarter-final. However, Whitlock made a great start to the game and went into the first break 5-0 up. Van Gerwen won 2 legs back straight after the break, but Whitlock managed to go into the second break with a 7-3 lead. Whitlock then won 4 of the next 5 legs to secure an 11-4 win. Whitlock was the 7-1 outsider for the win. Whitlock then faced Gary Anderson in the quarter-final, and the match was very close for the majority of its running, with Whitlock hitting double 14 to make it 12-all in the 1-16 game. However, Anderson then won the next 4 legs to secure a 16-12 win, and knock out a player who had beaten Van Gerwen in the previous round. The next major was the World Series Finals, which Van Gerwen had won in 4 of the previous 5 years. He was the 5-2 favorite to win the tournament, which he entered in the 2nd round as he was seeded. Van Gerwen's opponent was Glenn Durrant, who had beaten a poor Dimitri van den Berg in the 1st round. Van Gerwen went into the first break with a 3-2 lead, but Durrant managed to win 4 out of the next 5 legs to secure a 6-4 win. Durrant averaged 102 in the win against Van Gerwen and faced James Wade in the quarter-final. This game was very close, with neither player holding a lead greater than 2 legs for the entire game. The first to 10 contest went to a last leg decider, which Durant lost, meaning that he exited the tournament despite averaging 102 again. Once again, a player who had beaten Van Gerwen had lost in the very next round. The next major was the World Grand Prix, which Van Gerwen had won in the previous 2 years. He was the 17-4 favorite for the title going into the tournament, and made it to the quarterfinal stage following a 2-1 win over Christoph Ratajski and a 3-0 victory against Devin Peterson. Van Gerwen's quarterfinal opponent was Simon Whitlock, who was only in the tournament as Adrian Lewis had tested positive for coronavirus. Whitlock averaged just 85 in his deciding set second round win against Mervyn King, but managed to win the first set 3-1 in his game against MVG. Whitlock then whitewashed Van Gerwen in the second set and went within a set of the win. He won the third set 3-1 to beat Van Gerwen for the second time in a row on TV and to go into the semi-final, where he faced Dirk van Duijvenbodder. In this game, the players each won one of the first 2 sets, but then Dirk managed to win the next 3 to secure a 4-1 win and knock out another player who MVG beat in the prior round. Next came the European Championship, which Van Gerwen had won 4 times. Van Gerwen was the 10-3 favorite for this event, and comfortably won his first round tie against Darius Labanauskas 6-1 with a 103 average. In the second round, he faced Ian White, who averaged just 91 in his first round game. However, White got a great start to his game with MVG, and went into the first break with a 5-0 lead. The next session was 3-2 to Van Gerwen, and so the score was 7-3. Van Gerwen won the first leg after the break, but then White won 3 legs in a row to secure a 10-4 win with a 103 average. In his quarterfinal game against Devin Peterson, White led 6-5, but then lost the next 5 legs, and became yet another player to lose after beating Van Gerwen on TV. The next singles major was the Grand Slam, which Van Gerwen had not won since 2017. For the first time in a long time, he was not the bookmakers' favorite going into a major, and was instead the 3rd favorite. He topped his group, losing only 4 legs in the 3 group games. He smashed Gary Anderson 10-2 with a 101 average to set up a quarterfinal clash with Simon Whitlock, who averaged just 87 in his second round tie. Van Gerwen led this game 11-7 at one point, but Whitlock then won 8 out of the next 13 legs to set up a last leg decider. Whitlock didn't have the throw in this last leg, but started with a 180. After Van Gerwen missed 5 match darts, Whitlock hit double 8 to win and beat Van Gerwen for a 3rd straight time on TV. However, you guessed it, for the 3rd time in this run he lost in his next game, this time 16-12 to Jose de Souza, who was the eventual champion. Van Gerwen finally won his 2nd major of the season at the next major, which was the Players' Championship final. The title was Van Gerwen's 6th in the event. Next came the big one, the World Championship, and Van Gerwen was the 12-5 favorite to win his 4th world title. He averaged nearly 109 in his second round win over Ryan Murray, 106 in his 3rd round whitewash of Ricky Evans, and 100 in his brilliant 4-3 comeback win in the last 16 against Joe Cullen. This set up a quarterfinal clash with Dave Chisnall. In this game, Van Gerwen averaged below 100 for the first time in the tournament, whilst Chisnall averaged 107 in a stunning 5-0 whitewash of Van Gerwen, which hardly anybody expected. However, the Van Gerwen curse struck again, and Chisnall was unable to make it to the World Final after losing 6-3 to Gary Anderson in the semi-final. The MVG curse finally came to an end at the Masters, where it had first appeared a year earlier. Once again, Clayton beat MVG in the event, but he then went on to beat James Wade in a sudden death leg in the quarter-final. In the semi-final, Clayton beat Wright in a sudden death leg, and the Ferret beat Mervyn King in the final to win his first TV title and put the MVG curse well and truly to bed.